o'clock.
Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 27th, 2018, 10 a.m. The chair, Gold, had surgery, knee surgery on Monday. Pretty extensive. Apparently came back or was brought back from Medford yesterday to Brookings, and I understand from Assistant Jesuit that she had called in and is not going to be, or is not up to participating in the meeting this morning. So as the vice chair, I will go ahead and
well, you would turn it over to Chair, who is on the phone.
Pardon me?
You will turn over, this is the Budget Committee meeting, so you'll turn it over to
correct.
the Chair of the Budget Committee.
That's
who's on
correct.
the
For
phone.
this one, this one is the Budget Committee meeting that
Yes.
begins at 10. Thank you. Before I turn it over, they have here, unless they've changed it, they have the wrong day on the committee meeting. Is it Monday? So they did change some. Okay, so they've changed it after it was published from Monday to Wednesday. Okay. So I understand then that the chair of the Budget Committee, Bill Ostrowski, is on the phone, and we'll turn this budget meeting over to the chair.
Okay, thank you. Louise, I think we have to approve Budget Committee meeting minutes.
Okay, so the,
Excuse me,
Sorry.
I'd like to, the first item on the agenda after the call to order and the pledge is an adoption or an amendment of the agenda. And I'd like to suggest an amendment to the agenda to include a item to discuss and act on having quarterly meetings of the Budget Committee to review the financial status of things through each quarter year to date. And I'll make that a motion.
I'll second that, Mr. Chair.
that was an amendment, so that's the amendment not to do it, but to amend the
Yeah, right,
agenda.
This
to
amendment
put that
to
on the agenda.
To the agenda, correct?
Right.
Would you just repeat
Is there a
that,
second?
please? Would you repeat your?
Well, it's to discuss and act on whether or not the Budget Committee will have regularly scheduled quarterly meetings to discuss the financial status of things year to date through the end of the previous quarter.
I'll second Chair Ostrowski. Court voice.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Mr. Chair, I have one amendment proposal.
Okay.
I'm wondering if we can, I think Accountant Kallstrom has a couple of item 8. There's a 16 or so there, I think.
No, that's the regular meeting. We're talking right now on the Budget Committee meeting.
Okay.
The only thing on the agenda right now is approval of the 2017 minutes and the new edition of the quarterly reporting meetings.
Okay, I don't have that agenda in front of me, so I'm sorry I missed that. I do understand now.
Okay. Sorry.
Was there-
Thank you,
are there
Commissioner
any more,
Labonte.
amendments on the agenda? Sorry.
Repeat, please, Mr. Chair.
Are there any more amendments?
Are there any more amendments to the agenda? We'll open to public comments. Are there any public comments?
Doesn't seem to be.
Oh, hang on here. We have some, but let me see which they are addressing. Both, I think, the first two are addressing the second meeting, and I'm not sure Jay Trost is with a farewell address. Do you want to, I guess it could be done, but public comment at either meeting. Do you want to do that at this meeting or the meeting starting at Next meeting?
Well, the public comments, I would take
Okay.
the public comments would be related to the minutes of the budget committee.
I think it could be any minutes, but Director Trost had said he would speak at the next one. So no one has any comments at the Budget Committee meeting.
Right. So the next item is approving the budget committee minutes for last year, or for this current year that we're in.
So so it's for last year's budget committee meetings. And on May, I think it was on May 23rd, these minutes were handed out to review to all the budget committee members. They're for the prior year. Every year, the budget committee will approve the minutes from the prior year.
I'll make a motion that we.
Although, with the new meetings, if we have budget committee meetings every quarter, we could have the adoption minutes at those meetings too. So, but right now we don't have those, so this is the first chance we have.
I'll move to amend the Budget Committee minutes for the Budget Committee hearings held during 2017, for the 2017-2018 budget. I move to approve the minutes.
Okay, I'll second that. Any discussion on the minutes?
Yes, I have some discussion. Ms. Kallstrom had mentioned that the minutes were sent out, I think, in late May. I had returned, I'd spent quite some time reviewing them, and returned them on June, bear with me here. On June 11th with some recommended changes. Some with content, some with just minor typographical errors. And when I reviewed, I saw that none of the suggested changes were incorporated into this, the minutes that we're looking at that were published in the agenda here. So I would like to certainly add those into the record of this meeting this morning. I'm not sure who, decided they were not going to be incorporated. I'm sort of looking at the administrator here. Did you?
Yeah, I'm not aware of the minutes
Okay.
changed for that and the edits for the budget committee.
It was for the budget committee, and one of the reasons for my change is, and I want to add this into the record also, 3 pages on the public records, Oregon Public Records and Meetings law in regards to minutes and record keeping and what the minimum requirements are that I think we've been doing a pretty darn good job recently of adhering to, with the exception of 4 items here. I'm going to, I don't just want to start reading these. How do you want to handle, I'm looking at Administrator Schroeder, how do you want to handle, as I say, these were turned in, 3 weeks ago?
Okay.
In red text are the changes that I suggested.
Can you tell us what page those changes are and what the
Yeah,
text?
and it may change the pages, if it adds, but they were on page, first one was on page 7. I had, under number 28, I added 1 sentence and referenced the time. Under 29,
So on 28, what sentence did you add?
I had Commissioner Boyce disrespectful comments to Chair Brandt and other committee members regarding reducing commissioner salaries. And that was at 4:48, because the gal who wrote these up, put the times in. So that was my change that was submitted back to Brenda Starbird.
Okay, so you wanted what exactly do you want it to say?
Pardon me?
What sentence?
Just what I had there.
Can you repeat that?
I'm
then?
sorry. Would you like a copy?
No, just repeat what you said you want the sentence to be.
Commissioner Boyce disrespectful comments to Chair Brand and other committee members regarding reducing commissioner salaries.
Does anybody have a motion to approve that sentence being added?
Well, it's opinion. I don't know why we would add it, but if it's going to bog down this meeting and it makes you happy, Commissioner, you know, I'm not going to fret over that. So I'll leave it to the Budget Committee here. And we're apparently not going to hear how it was disrespectful. So it's laughable.
Drop the word disrespectful. Commissioner Boyce comments to Chair Brandt. It was quite succinct if you were to watch the video.
Well, I would recommend that the minutes be adopted as they were proposed because, as you well know, minutes don't have to be verbatim. We don't need to go on a transcript of it. It doesn't have to be that way. I would recommend that we just adopt them the way they are.
Mr. Chair, I will make that motion to adopt the minutes as written and backed up, of course, by solid video. Thank you.
And I'll second that.
Any-
Discussion? Okay. So, let's vote. Do we approve the minutes as written then?
Call for the question?
You call for the question.
I'll call for the question.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
No. And
Was there,
Yeah, so it's 3-1 approval for the motion.
no, sir. No, sir.
Yeah,
May-
3-1.
May I comment, Chair?
okay.
Again, you have quorums. You have a committee, you have a budget committee that consists of 6 individuals. A quorum is 4. You must have in any vote a majority of the budget committee, not who's present or not present. You must have a majority in order to pass. 3 is not a majority. This does not pass.
So speaks.
Excuse me, I don't understand. I think is there 4 of us currently here?
Yes, Bill, but 3 voted yes, which is not a majority of the committee. And it must be a majority of a committee or a board of commissioner or any governing body to pass an item.
It's unbelievable.
So Bill, I will say that we are, Sands, our corp counsel, he is across the street in a court hearing currently. I'm not aware of that. I've always thought it would be a majority of the quorum can pass items.
It is, Commissioner Huxley is correct.
When it's president, is my understanding.
No. Commissioner Huxley is correct. It is a majority of the committee, and that would take 4 votes. I'd like to suggest that we take the minutes off the agenda, have more time to do the amendments, and if you pass the next item on this agenda, we could have these minutes presented at the first quarterly committee meeting.
All right, if that's the way, you know, it should be done, given the amount of people that are not present, I guess. You know, let's defer this then until the next scheduled budget committee meeting, or when we can actually get everyone together and do such a meeting.
Mr. Chair, would we want to consider adding anything else to that in a collective way so that if there's other issues, that we could kind of identify those
If
now?
there, I think that we can get the revisions put in that anybody suggests, and then make that available for anybody to make additional comments on.
Very good, thank you.
Before we bring them back as ready to approve.
Do we
Mr.
need a motion to table this until the next meeting of the Budget Committee?
I believe this thing failed, so it just goes away.
It goes away,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Mr. Chair,
Yes?
excuse me, court boys here. Are you able to hear Accountant Kallstrom okay?
Yeah, I can barely hear, but I'm hearing her. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
so now we have the quarterly meetings to discuss the year-to-date financials, to discuss whether or not we hold those meetings.
Right, yeah, this was, and thank you, Carl, for bringing this up. This is something that, you know, we discussed during the normal course of preparing the budget for this coming fiscal year, I think it's important that the budget committee be made abreast of things that are going on in the county instead of just, the last month or the month before, the end of the year. And a quarterly meeting would give the budget committee members a better picture of what has been going on in the county for the last 10, 12 months, whatever has been going on. And that's why, it was recommended early in our meetings. And I think it is an important measure, and it holds certain people accountable as to how the commission, how the county is being financially managed and so forth, and what measures are taking to increase the revenue resources of the county to fund the budget correctly. So I think that's the reason that it did come up. I would like it.
I would just.
Like us to really consider doing this.
I'd like to make the comment that we move on with this because I have a hearing in the next meeting that was supposed to start at 10:15 and it is now 10:16. So
I'll make a motion that the Budget Committee hold quarterly meetings to review the financial status of the county as close to the end of each quarter as possible.
we need time to
My
close.
other question before we vote on this is, as to the timing of each meeting, does the county currently have a meeting, the commissioners, to review the quarterly,
No, we do
results
not.
of it? Okay, so we're going to have to set up some kind of calendar for this.
Yes, we will discuss that with the county administrator and then we will set up a calendar for that.
Okay.
Is there a second to my motion?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Open for discussion?
Commissioner Huxley, I think it's an excellent suggestion, and I hope that includes reviewing of the, certainly the monthly revenue and expense reports. Excellent suggestion.
Yeah. And I also think that, I know we're running long, so I don't make this short, but the other thing too I like to see in this quarterly meeting is also an update as to the current projects that have been going on in the county, as to what their status is and how close are they to completion of their project, and if they're going to meet the budget or if they're going to need more funding or less funding or whatever. To get a better picture of exactly what's going on in the county as far as that kind of those type of projects are going on. So we had a second. There was any further discussion? If not, we'll put it up for the vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So I think that was the last item on the agenda. There's no further business. I'll adjourn the budget committee meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Bye-bye.
These are the two I want to enter into the record for this.